So you're a sneaker reseller, great. But now where do you sell your merchandise? What is most worth your time posting all of those amazing products you guys have? Bitch! Welcome back to another 440 Kicks video today. I'm your host, Spee, owner of 440 Kicks, and today we are going to be breaking down the best place to sell your merchandise as a reseller in 2025. Now, here in 2025, there are more marketplaces than ever, and the accessibility to clothing and sneakers is at an all-time high, which is a great thing. I want to be able to nail down the pros and cons from all of these amazing platforms to help you make the decision on what's most worth your time. So today we're going to discuss StockX, GOAT, Whatnot, and eBay, four of the biggest global marketplaces where hype stuff gets sold. Let's jump right into it. First, we're going to discuss StockX. StockX is an amazing platform. It's been around for many years, and thousands of items sell on their website, on their app every single day. Now, let's talk about some of the pros on StockX, because there are pros and cons to every one of these websites. The pros are there are instant sell now options. So I don't know if you guys are hip to StockX, but you can either buy an item or bid on an item. So it's kind of like a stock. Let's say a Tesla share is $100. Okay, you can either buy that share for $100, which is what the market value is, or you can bid, say, at $95. Now, if I own a piece of Tesla stock that maybe I paid 80 bucks for, I can see your bid for 95 and go, okay, I'll make a $15 profit. Like, that's cool. And then I'll accept your bid, and you'll get that $5 under the market value because you took the time to put a highest bid. So you can either sell your item at a sell now price, or you can buy the items at a highest bid. So that allows people to kind of make offers, right? StockX, another big pro of that is you don't have to deal directly with the client. You're dealing with the company. So let's say I dump an item right now. A dump is in sell. I sell an item right now. They give me a label to send to their authentication warehouse site, wherever that is. They have multiple across the country, and they'll deal with the seller from there. So once they check your item that you sold and it's brand new, authentic, and in the correct size with the original everything, they'll pay you out and you're done. You don't have to worry if the seller doesn't like it, if it doesn't fit the seller, if the quality wasn't up to the expectations of what they thought it'd be. StockX deals with all of that. So that's a huge pro because you don't have to worry about customer service. You don't have to deal with emails, refunds, returns, any of that stuff. And with StockX being an innovator and the leader in the game for many years, they also spend a ton of money on marketing. So again, they have that global marketplace pool to where people in every country, every continent are able to go on and buy and sell on StockX. Last pro I would say about StockX is their sell now features. So like I mentioned with the bids a few moments earlier, let's say you own a sneaker shop and somebody brings in a Panda Dunk Low, and there's a bid for $85, after fees maybe it comes to like 70 bucks, okay? You can offer that person $60 for their item, knowing that if they accept your offer, you can instantly make $10 on it, AKA dump the product. So you're able to go on there, and if there are bids in certain styles and sizes of whatever product you're currently carrying, you can instantly make a sale and collect profit. So again, that really comes down to your sales model. We're not gonna discuss different reseller sale models. We've done that in previous videos, but we're just going to simply outline these platforms, and you can make the decision on what you think is best for you. Now let's talk about some cons with StockX. Okay, first of all, they have high seller fees, typically 8 to 10%. Plus a payment processing fee. So again, this whole resale game is a game of margins, right? And those 2, 3, 4, 5, 8% really add up when you're doing high sales volume. So you have to make sure that you're integrating those commission fees into what you're paying on products to ensure that you're not making small margins on your sales. Another con, payout delays due to the authentication process. Now I will say, as a person who's sold hundreds of items on StockX, and we don't do a huge sale volume on there, right? I mean, a lot of the stuff we buy, we pay market value or a little under, so it's hard for us to make good money on StockX. Like, we're not buying things to sell on StockX, if that makes sense. We're buying things to sell a little over market value. So we don't really rely on StockX other than when we need to get rid of something. Like, okay, I bought this Panda Dunk Low. It's been sitting in our store for 7 months. I want to turn that piece of inventory and reallocate those funds to another product. So then you can go on there and dump it. Like, that's what we mainly use StockX for. But a con with that, you might have a payout delay, right? So you sell the item today, you won't see that payout from 2 to 4 to maybe even 5 days, because you have to ship the product to them. Then it goes into their queue of all the items they're authenticating that they're inbounding. And then at the end of that day when they check it, you'll get a payout via your bank, or I use Venmo, and that's very simple. So again, if you're looking for instant cash on the spot, you're gonna have to wait a couple days and be able to afford having that money floating around for a few days. Another thing, there's no price negotiation, okay? That's probably the biggest con with StockX. There is no negotiating. So I have a Panda Dunk size 10. There are thousands of other people trying to sell that same Panda Dunk size 10 at maybe a better price than me. Maybe they bought it from $50 off a dude and I paid $60. Well, they can change their lowest ask, what they're looking for on that product, and then ultimately screw you out of being able to sell your product. Because if you're paying 70 bucks, 80 bucks on Panda Dunks all day, and homie in Nevada or homie in Arkansas is paying 60, 50 bucks for his pandas, he's going to be able to provide a better price for the general population on StockX and be very competitive with the pricing, which I guess you can consider a pro as a buyer. If you go on there and you're looking for a model that has high sales volume, you'll usually be able to get a very good price on that because there's a lot of people trying to sell it, and that supply drives the price down. If there's not as high of a demand, that meets that. Again, that's a whole economic thing. I'm getting off course here, but so my recommendation, if you guys are selling on StockX, is to niche down, okay? So don't sell Panda Dunks, don't sell GRs, don't sell the most recent things that have dropped unless you're getting them way below retail and are able to be that highest competitor and that shark to be able to provide a low price to where your sales volume is not being hurt by the high competition on certain SKUs. And then the last con I would say with StockX is the risk of rejection. You might have your sneaker rejected. Now, that could be because your item's fake, and if your item's fake, I mean, that you did that to yourself, okay? Let's be a little smarter on the buying side. Not to say that it happens to every reseller. There's going to be a time in your career where you buy a fake item and you might learn the hard way by selling to StockX and going, okay, my sale didn't get accepted because it was a fake item. You learn from that, okay? Build from that. But they could get rejected for very miscellaneous reasons. I've seen things as simple as mini box damage. You know, there's a little tear on the lid of the box to, you know, there was this tiny smudge on the bottom of the shoe that could have been wiped off, but instead of them wiping it off or dealing with it, they send it right back to you, okay? So just make sure whatever you guys are selling on there is in mint, pristine condition. Like, it has to be brand new, right? Everything sold and bought on StockX, aside from a few designer pieces, are all brand new. So you want to make sure that you're not taking a chance on getting your item rejected, because let's say you're banking on a $300 sale, right? And then you're waiting 3 days for it to get the StockX to get that payout. Well, if you get rejected, it's going to be another 3, 4, 5 days back to you, and you're also paying a $15 fee. So not only are you out of the sale, your asset's gone for a week and you can't even sell it elsewhere, but you're also getting charged for that. So again, just make sure you guys are being smart with what you're selling on StockX and that it is in brand new condition, and that whatever you guys are selling, you know, make sure you're buying an item that you can get a good enough margin on to make sense of your time. So again, to recap, I'd say StockX is best for new sellers that want to deal with automated prices and not having to deal with client relations, and then people flipping hype items with really good resale value, right? Maybe you're a dude that cooks skateboard shops at the newest, latest SBs, and you're able to dump them right on StockX because you have a niche product the general population is not able to access. So that's StockX in a nutshell, okay? Great app, been around the longest, thousands, millions of users across the world, but you got to be careful with what you're selling on there. You might get price skipped by somebody else. Number 2, we're going to talk about GOAT. Okay, GOAT is an amazing platform, and I love GOAT because they not only provide used sneakers, they also have new sneakers. Okay, so you can go on there and buy your new shoes, sell your new shoes, buy used shoes, sell used shoes. It's a plethora of options, and I think that makes it a lot more of a user-friendly application for resellers that have a variety of products, right? You're not just selling brand new, you also dabble with some used pairs. Well, GOAT's an amazing platform where you can take the time to list both brand new and used shoes. If that is your model of sales, you'll find that GOAT treats really well, and that, you know, it's a great platform for that kind of stuff. So again, there's 3 different types of sales on GOAT. Okay, you can either do an instant sale, which is very similar to StockX in the sense that it's a top offer. Okay, so you can accept an offer on a product that you own and see a guaranteed payout from that. You can regularly post your item for whatever price you're looking for, and again, you still have to deal with the kind of same competition that, you know, if I have a Black Cat 4 and a size 11 brand new, there might be 20 other people trying to sell their Black Cat 4 size 11 brand new as well. So again, that's where you gotta have to be providing the best price on there to see a quick sale. Or you can also consign. Now, this is something I've never personally done, but GOAT does allow some SKUs to be sent into their warehouse, and they will store your product and sell them for you. So that can be a really big pro if you're somebody that wants to have a super passive stream of revenue and you have access to great products at great prices, to where you can kind of go in and do these buyouts. You know, maybe you're buying a couple 100,000 pieces and then send it all to GOAT and say, hey, do all the work for it, sell it for me, whatever, I don't care, this is what I want, XYZ for each product, and you let them do the hard work for you. That is a super passive way for you to make money. Not that you're gonna get rich overnight on that, but I'm just saying if that's the kind of business model you're running, which in the sneaker resale world, there's a million different ways to make money, that could be something that interests you. And then, so historically, another pro with GOAT is a lower rejection rate. So they are more lenient, I wanna say, in terms of there being flaws with your items, as they'll actually offer the buyer a specific refund amount or percentage off if there is a problem with your sneaker, okay? So let's do an example. Let's say I sell a Panda Dunk, it's brand new, original box, whatever. I sell it on there for $80, okay? My payout's gonna be 65 bucks. If GOAT receives that sneaker and sees there's a smudge on it, or maybe there's a little rip or a tear, or it's missing an extra set of laces, they're gonna reach back out to you and say, hey, your item is missing this or has a flaw this way. Would you like us to offer the buyer a discount to avoid your sale being rejected? At which point they'll offer the seller, let's say 5, 8, or 10% off of the sneaker. You get to actually pick and give that offer to the buyer. And then that's why there's a way lower rejection rate. You're able to real time give a discount to the buyer because it was a flaw you didn't know about, or maybe you did know about and you were trying to like see if it'll just pass through. And that'll help you complete the sale without eating a fee and eating another 3 days to wait and get your product back ultimately. And then again, another pro with GOAT, they have a global buyer base. GOAT has been around for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and they have buyers across the world. So whenever you're selling your products, the more eyes, the more impressions your products are receiving, you have a higher chance of selling that product, assuming you're not asking an outrageous price, right? So again, GOAT is right next to StockX, and I would say if you guys are selling new shoes or used shoes, amazing platform to do that. Again, some cons with GOAT though. Let's talk about some cons with GOAT. There are high fees, especially for new sellers, which could range up to 13 to 15%. So again, that's a lot more than that 8 to 10% StockX. Now you can work to a lower percentage fee by selling items, right? Both StockX and GOAT have tiered systems to where you earn points every sale on GOAT. I think you might start at like 90 points as a new seller, and then once you get to like 100 points, which it's like 2 points per sale, then you might, they bump you down a half a percentage. Well, in the same way that it goes up, it also could go down. So let's say you send a fake item into GOAT and they deem it as a replica. They'll knock a couple points off of your account to kind of punish you for that sale not going through, in which case your normal 12% fee could also go up to 15% if you have multiple, repeated failed payments. Now they do this to keep sellers accountable for what they're selling on there, right? They don't want everybody just coming on and sending 100 pieces in, 100 fake spider hoodies, and 3 of them pass, 97 of them don't. Well, if they have a way to hold sellers accountable with that rating score, then you're gonna be less likely to deal with that as a company like GOAT. And I think that's a major play on their end that they do that. But and then again, another con with GOAT, there are slower sales for non-hype pairs. So they're not getting as many eyes as StockX would on, let's say, a LaMelo Ball Porsche collab or something. So if you have a very niche product, it'd be cool to post it on GOAT, but you might not be as likely to see a quick sale on it. Not that you would on StockX, but I'm just saying, if you have, grails, put them on GOAT. There's no harm, no foul putting it on GOAT, but just don't expect it to be, okay, I'm gonna sell this in a week. And then the last thing I would say on the con side for GOAT is that their shipping process is a little longer due to authentication. Again, they do also authenticate, which is amazing for buyers who want to purchase authentic and real stuff. But again, you're gonna have to wait a few days until you see that payout. You're gonna ship that in, you're gonna wait 4 or 5 days to see that money hit. So again, to recap, I would say GOAT is best for sellers who want to list their used and new sneakers. Okay, you're dabbling in both and want to have one marketplace that you can list everything under. And it is also amazing for resellers who are willing to wait for higher profits over quick flips. So I guess you could say StockX is more for quick flips, whereas GOAT, you're focused on more of a margin. If you guys want to look up any sneaker in your mind right now, you'll notice that a GOAT price is usually $10 to $15 more than what StockX is. Now, granted, when you go to checkout, they're going to work out to basically the same thing, but due to their pricing structures, GOAT will ultimately yield you a higher return on your item. All right, really quickly on Whatnot, okay? Obviously, we have sold 100,000 items on Whatnot. That is like our bread and butter. That is what I've built our entire model of business around. A lot of pros with Whatnot, right? So you have live auctions, which are fast sales. You can liquidate anything in your house right now. All right, this is a great shoot for the ladies. 7.5 women, 6 men. This is the Air Force One sale. So you get the multicolored pastel upper and a little bit of a platform base here. 7.5 women, 6 men. 20 seconds sudden death, the clock starts now. Brand new in the box. These are gorgeous. Gentlemen, if you need a new pair for the boo, this is the one right here. 27. Chat, what are we doing here? You got 6, 5, 4. Bro, that's crazy.
Dude.
My leg wasn't a 440 kicks. Phenomenal steal. You have more control over the pricing in terms of you can set something starting at $1 or you can set something starting at $1,000. Like that, you have total control over what you start your auctions at. And then there's no authentication delays. So once I sell an item, it's gonna go directly to the buyer, and that's great for buyers because they'll receive their products faster, and that's great for me because I'll see my payout quicker. I'm not waiting 3 days for it to get to an authentication center and then another day for it to actually be checked. Like, no, it's very instant, quick payouts. Once that buyer receives their parcel, they'll automatically give you your payout. And that's not to say that the no authentication means you can get away with selling fake products on Whatnot, right? Whatnot offers a buyer guarantee. So if a buyer receives a product and they think it's fake, they will reach out to Whatnot and submit photos. And if Whatnot has a reason to believe that it is inauthentic, they'll have the buyer send it into their warehouse. And when it is checked, you will be forced to give that money back. They'll issue that right out of your ledger. So just because there's not an authentication process before it gets to the buyer, don't think that means you can just go on there and sell whatever you want. Like, no, they're still going to hold you accountable for what products you're selling, because they're not letting fake stuff fly. Okay, so again, and if you are a person watching this who sells one of one and replica items, like, quick sidebar, stop doing that. It is not a feasible, scalable business model. You're not gonna be around long, brother. I'm telling you right now, reputation is everything in this game. And if you are the guy that's known for having one of one spider hoodies and fake vape tees, not a lot of people are gonna work with you, and you're gonna have a tough time moving stuff, and you're gonna be left with a bunch of inventory that's worth nothing, like worth nothing. And I'd say the last pro with Whatnot is it's very engaging and fun for buyers. So you can go on, host a live stream, and make new friends and make connections with people in the chat. You can be a personality and, you know, have a little fan base per se.
People on the chat talk about how much for her IG. I mean, brother, cousin, come on, man. Hey, bro, y'all scared them away, man. We got some down bad gentlemen that need a fucking glass of water on Whatnot. That you scared them all away, brother. Unreal. It's crazy how many people in the chat don't touch grass. You put a woman on the screen, they come out of the woodworks, bro. Some of y'all gotta get an extracurricular of some sort. I mean, man, you that down bad? Paying for an IG? Listen, I can't call it. You're smoking that Dolph pack too, bro. Bro, I kid you not, they threw like 4 Gs in a wood, moon rocks and fucking grabba and all that. I don't fuck with the grabba. He just lit the thing, putting it in a circle of 5 people, just lit the thing. He's rolling another one. I'm like, bro, can we get a rotation before you start rolling another one? They were just, man, I couldn't keep up. I was fucking out of my mind.
You can direct them to your Instagram, direct them to your website. It's amazing to be in that real-time space where you can interact with buyers, you can answer questions immediately, you can showcase an item. Whatnot is amazing for real-time, in-person vibe sales. But again, let's talk about some cons with Whatnot, because even though it is amazing and you can liquidate your entire store in one day, a con of that is you have no idea what it's gonna sell for. There's never a guarantee what it sells for unless you yourself start that auction at a price you're comfortable with, which also takes away from the liquidity aspect, right? So yeah, I could sell everything in my store tomorrow on Whatnot by starting it all at $1, but what's it going to sell for? That's kind of where that little bit of gambling comes into play. You are kind of throwing the dice at the board, hoping that it goes for a price where you're seeing a margin on that. So again, just be careful with what you're selling on Whatnot. Obviously, it can be an investment in a community to pass stuff out, start auctions at $1, and you lose money on sales, and I know that sucks, it hurts. We've been there. We passed out hundreds of thousands of dollars of steals in terms of loss margin. But you also have to see that as an investment in that community. You hope that somebody bought that Panda Dunk for 50 bucks, and yeah, you lost 20. You hope that person appreciates that, leaves you a good review, and then comes back to shop with you next time. And hopefully when the bids are jumping, then you're making money on the next time they purchase, you know? Another con, it's very hard to build an audience nowadays. So Whatnot is more saturated than ever, as you can imagine. I mean, as weeks go by, months go by, new users are coming onto the platform, and it can be really hard to have your show in the spotlight, right? Whatnot's gonna tell you that they'll give you a push notification and that they'll boost your shows, and then they'll give you lower seller fees, whatever, which is cool. Take advantage of that full-heartedly. Whenever you're joining the app and they give you those benefits and deals, take advantage of that. But I'm just saying you need to be really creative in ways to have an engaging live stream, because it's not just about the product selection. And we've been there ourselves. Like, it's not just about having the coolest stuff on the app in terms of Travis Scott merch or Supreme tees. You need to have an engaging way to entice your buyers to sit around and spend their time. Another con, the platform fees are pretty high, right? And those fees help pay for all the features that Whatnot has and gives. So it's a give and take. You're paying via that percentage to be a part of that platform, to be able to use use their interface, to be able to have access to their support. So it's understandable why they charge what they charge, but just so you know, it is an 8% plus 2.9% processing fee, which comes out to 10.9%. And then if you are running giveaways, which is another way, you have to run giveaways. Like, you have to have a reason for people to sit in there that have $0 to spend. You're realistically looking at like a 12% margin, or a 12% fee, I should say, post stream. And 12%'s a lot. I mean, if you're buying stuff for $90 and you're okay selling it for $100 to make a quick 10, there goes your whole entire margin, right? So you have to find that perfect blend of volume and margin, and that might take you some time to discover. But again, that is a con that you're automatically going to have to deal with and figure out a way around. And then it is a time commitment. That is the last con I would say with Whatnot. It's not Goat or StockX where you can just post something and let it sell. You yourself have to be behind the camera and be a live personality and actually give the buyers, again, another reason to buy it. And you need to showcase that item. It's not, yeah, you can throw stuff in the buy now and have pictures on it, whatever, and people will buy stuff out of your buy now like it was an eBay marketplace. But at the end of the day, Whatnot is literally a live streaming platform where people are buying with live buyers. So if you're not the kind of person that can jump behind a camera and talk to a chat for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours and have fun with it, it's really not for you. Like, you have to have that high energy and be ready to yap. So again, Whatnot is best for sellers who already have a following and are willing to engage with buyers live, because that's the whole concept of the app. And it's also best for fast movers who want to move high volume sales, are cool with taking a lower margin, and just want to continue to build their audience on Whatnot. Like, you want to invest your time and money into Whatnot. Like, if you're ready to do that, Whatnot's all for you. I download the app and schedule a call today. Last site we're going to talk about is eBay, okay? And eBay is the dawn of reselling. eBay is what I first started selling on in the 8th grade back in 2012, 2013, 2014. That's how I got my first little lump sum of money, per se, selling stuff around the house. And eBay is amazing because you can literally sell anything under the sun, whether it's a car part, sneakers, shoes, streetwear, whatever. Like, and I know this is mainly intended for sneaker and streetwear audiences, but eBay is amazing because you can build a profile on there and have everything under the sun listed in one place. So let's talk about some pros with eBay. There are lower fees compared to StockX and Goat, which is typically 8 to 9% with eBay. There's direct buyer communication, so buyers can ask you questions and have inquiries about your products, and if you're able to answer those questions and make them feel better about making a purchase, they're more ample to buy your product because you're able to have that dialogue with them, right? And then there's also usually no need to send to an authentication center. Now, eBay did a couple years back roll out their eBay sneakers program, where they do have an authentication program now, because there was a lot of shade eBay was getting for people being able to sell fake stuff. And granted, if you want to go on there and post a fake Gucci belt, that's going to get taken down for infringement. Like, they do have AI processes and people like actively searching on there that will delete your product if it's not real. But again, you got to be careful with like a Chrome Hearts tee or Chrome Hearts hoodies, for example. If it's not an authenticated, guaranteed listing, I'd heavily stay away from buying that unless you know what to check, which you guys can watch our Chrome Hearts video and know. You have to be very careful as a buyer on eBay. I recommend buying with only people that do have the authentication guarantee on there. And if you guys have that, you're going to be way more inclined to make sales on. And that's a huge pro. Again, you're dealing with a buyer base that want to know that they're buying authentic goods, and the fact that eBay offers that is amazing for any used or new sneaker seller, because when you have buyer confidence, you turn more sales. So that's amazing from eBay. And then again, the last pro, which I've already kind of mentioned, you can sell used or new sneakers on there. So if you're the kind of person who wants to dedicate all of their time and put all of their eggs in one basket in terms of what site you're using to sell, eBay is everything under the sun for you. You can post all of your used shoes, all of your new shoes in one place, have all of your dashboard and shipments in one place, and you can really grow a profitable business on eBay. I know tons of guys that make a lot of money on eBay, and thousands, if not more, sneakers are selling every single day on their platform. Couple cons really quick about eBay. Have risk of chargebacks or scams. So there are a lot of people that try to prey on new buyers by sending fake PayPal emails and messages on, oh, I'll pay when I get it, or this and that. Don't be fished into a scam, okay? Never send an item out so you see in your PayPal account inside of the app that money is pending and that sale is confirmed on eBay. Don't look at any fake phishing emails. You might have people ask you for your email. They'll send you a fake PayPal invoice and say, hey, I sent the money. You won't see it in your account. It's pending. Don't fall for that stuff and waste your time and money, okay? Another con, there are slower sales, per se, for really hype sneakers. If you have a brand new Travis Scott 1 and you're looking for $50 over market value isn't what it's selling for on StockX and Go, you have a really low chance of selling that item. Again, it is a very competitive marketplace where thousands, if not millions of people are posting their things for sale on there, and you have to have a great price if you want to see a quick sale. And then I'd say the last con is it requires a lot of work, right? You have to take individual photos of all angles of your product. I mean, if you want to sell, yeah, you could post something with like 2 pictures, but if you really want to be successful on eBay, you have to spend a lot of time building all of your listings out with proper photos, with nice descriptions, with all info, you know, the size, the manufacturer, the year of release, et cetera, et cetera. You need to put all of that stuff in there and really serve it to the buyer if you want to make quick sales. So again, in a recap, eBay is best for sellers who are looking for higher profits with lower fees, and also for people comfortable dealing with buyer interactions and potential disputes, okay? Because if somebody buys something and they want to refund it or return it, unless you have no refunds or returns on your listing, they're going to submit a case, and you're going to have to communicate with them back and forth and say, you know, hey, this is why we can't accept this refund, or this is why, whatever. You're going to have that dialogue with the buyer. So again, if you're a person that doesn't want to deal with the buyer, just wants to buy stuff at a good price, sell it at a better price, you're going to have to go with StockX or Go, because you don't have to deal with any buyers on StockX or Go. But eBay, you kind of got to get behind the wheel a little more and be able to run your business by dealing with customers and clients. So again, real quick recap, StockX, Go, Whatnot, and eBay are 4 of the leaders in the sneaker and streetwear sales markets in the entire world. StockX and GOAT are 2 great platforms that are amazing for people who don't want to deal with buyers and want to be able to see market values and what their items is worth, and even sometimes dumping or quick selling their items based off of offer. eBay and Whatnot have more of an upside, but also more of a downside, because you can run auctions and take a chance at it, or that auction could go one of 2 ways. You can run a dollar auction on eBay or Whatnot, and it goes up to $1,000, or maybe it goes up to $20. There's more risk, but you know, when there's more risk, there's usually higher reward. So that's what eBay and Whatnot are for. And Whatnot's amazing for people with high personalities that want to build a live stream channel and brand, and that with people that genuinely want to connect with their viewers, Whatnot's the place for you. If you're the kind of person that wants to be able to deal with clients and consumers and wants to build that brand, but keep it to a simple text message, eBay is the bread and butter for you. You're able to do that. You're able to grow your brand. People are able to search your store and shop with your profile exclusively, and they're more likely to do that when they buy something from you and they enjoy their experience. So again, StockX, fast and easy sales, GOATs, used and new shoes, all under the same roof, flip items in real time to real-time buyers, Whatnot, and then, you know, if you want to flip with the lowest fees and direct buyer negotiation, eBay is going to be for you. So what do you guys think? Drop your comments below as to what sales avenue works best for you guys. I'd love to hear your success or failure stories. Maybe you tried Whatnot, it didn't work. Maybe you started selling on eBay and it went amazing. Let us know what works best for you guys in the comments. Again, this is strictly me giving factual advice about each site, and I want you guys to be able to make the best decision. And you might have to try them all before you really realize what works best for you. We talked about this in the how to scale your sneaker business, right? Sometimes coming into the game, you have to try everything, and then once you see something working and something providing that high yield, that high margin, run with it into the sunlight, okay? So again, yeah, drop in the comments where you guys sell your stuff and what platform is your favorite to use, and go out there and make some money. Until next time, it's been your boy Speed from 440 Kicks. Again, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram to see all of our new releases in store here in downtown Cleveland at 440.kicks, which will be right above me. Whatnot at 440 Kicks. If you want to catch our dollar auctions, we go live 5 to 7 times a week with the best hype drip on the planet, from sneakers to streetwear, and I'm getting shelled on there, like waxed, okay? So come check that out. And make sure you guys subscribe and hit the like button if you guys want to see more free game in the sneaker world and more advice on how to run and scale your business successfully. Until next time, we'll catch ya. Y'all stay blessed and stay easy. Peace.
Bitch wanna fuck me, get your ass in. Don't you end up running all that fast shit. If a nigga try